Monster plunges viewers into a high-stakes hostage situation unfolding live on national television. Lee Gates, a flamboyant financial guru hosting the show Money Monster, is in the midst of his usual bombastic broadcast when Kyle Budwell, a disgruntled investor who lost his life savings on a disastrous stock tip from Gates, storms the set. Armed with a gun and a bomb, Kyle takes Gates hostage, demanding answers about why Ibex Capital's stock plummeted overnight due to an alleged glitch costing him and many others their investments. Patty Fenn, Gates' long-suffering director, desperately tries to manage the crisis from the control room, keeping the broadcast on air as per Kyle's demands. Kyle forces Gates to wear a vest rigged with explosives, threatening to detonate it if his questions aren't answered or if anyone attempts to intervene. The chaotic standoff reveals the frantic efforts of the production crew and the network to handle the unprecedented situation, while also showing the growing panic and public reaction as the event is broadcast worldwide. As the police and a negotiator arrive, Patty and Lee work against the clock to appease Kyle and uncover the truth behind the Ibex Capital crash. Kyle believes that the glitch is a cover-up for something far more sinister, and he's determined to expose the real criminals responsible for his financial ruin. The tension escalates as Kyle forces Gates to confront his past recommendations, particularly the one that led to Kyle's devastating loss. The narrative emphasizes the volatile nature of the stock market and the public's blind trust in financial personalities, contrasted with the harsh realities faced by ordinary investors when those promises go awry. As the tense hostage situation unfolds, Kyle vehemently rejects any attempts by Lee Gates to deflect blame or by the NYPD negotiator to intervene, cutting off communication with the police. Kyle insists on speaking only to Lee and Ibex Capital CEO Walt Canby, demanding real answers about the company's sudden stock plummet. Gates' director Patty Fenn struggles to locate Canby, who appears to be intentionally unreachable, traveling by private jet and off the grid. Patty dispatches a producer, Ron, to Ibex's corporate offices to get answers in person, while also trying to extract information about Kyle Budwell's background. They discover Kyle is a loner who recently sold his deceased mother's home, investing the $60,000 inheritance into Ibex only to lose it all. This revelation solidifies Kyle's desperation and reinforces the high stakes of the situation. Meanwhile, law enforcement strategizes, identifying potential entry points and even considering a risky plan to shoot Lee Gates in a specific spot to disable the bomb's wireless receiver without killing him. This extreme measure underscores the gravity of Kyle's threat. As Ron arrives at Ibex, he's denied entry, and the chief communications officer, Diane Lester, is brought onto the broadcast. Her initial responses, relying on PR-approved talking points about an unexplained anomaly or black swan event, only further enrage Kyle. He sees through the corporate jargon, accusing them of hiding the truth and demanding to speak with the actual quants who designed the flawed algorithm, or Walt Canby himself. The exchange between Kyle, Lee, and Diane becomes increasingly heated, with Kyle shooting out a monitor in frustration. Lee, recognizing that Kyle won't be placated by corporate spin, takes matters into his own hands. He negotiates a few minutes with Kyle to try and get real answers. With limited options, Lee makes a desperate and audacious move. He appeals directly to the millions of viewers watching, urging them to buy Ibex stock. His logic is that if enough people buy shares, the sudden surge in demand could artificially inflate the stock price, triggering the company's own algorithms to buy, effectively fixing the problem and recovering Kyle's lost investment. He frames it as an act of collective human empathy against cold, unfeeling algorithms. The plan, dubbed the Money Monster bump, begins to show a slight uptick in Ibex's stock price, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. Lee continues to passionately implore viewers to participate, emphasizing the value of a human life over abstract financial figures. Lee Gates' attempt to use the Money Monster bump to raise Ibex's stock price and placate Kyle fails, as the market doesn't respond as hoped. Kyle's pregnant girlfriend Molly is brought to the studio to try and reason with him, but her emotional outburst, where she berates him for his foolishness and financial recklessness, only further destabilizes Kyle, causing him to become more agitated and suicidal. Meanwhile, Patty Fenn continues her relentless investigation into Ibex Capital. She manages to contact the South Korean quant who designed the Ibex algorithm. This quant reveals a crucial piece of information: the algorithm, by its very design, could not have lost $800 million in one afternoon due to a glitch. He asserts that such a loss is a mathematical impossibility for the program, indicating human fingerprints all over this. He suggests that if Walt Canby, the CEO, is unreachable and $800 million is missing, a deeper, deliberate manipulation is at play. The news that Walt Canby has landed and is en route to Federal Hall for a press conference adds another layer of urgency. Patty realizes that Canby has been lying about his whereabouts, having been in South Africa, not Geneva. This confirms a cover-up. As SWAT teams prepare to take a risky shot to disable the bomb vest on Gates, Patty informs Lee about Canby's deceit and the quant's revelation. With the studio being evacuated and a sniper in position, Lee makes a desperate decision. He tells Kyle the truth about Canby's lies and the algorithm not being at fault, proposing a new plan. They will go together to confront Canby at Federal Hall and expose the truth live. Despite the extreme danger, Lee convinces Kyle that this is their only path to getting real answers and public accountability. Lee and Kyle, still connected by the bomb vest, leave the studio, with cinematographer Lenny bravely accompanying them to continue broadcasting. Patty from the control room orchestrates their movement, directing them towards Canby's location while simultaneously trying to get a hacker to investigate Canby's plane records for clues about his true activities in South Africa. The impromptu street broadcast draws massive public attention as the hostage situation transitions into a high-stakes public pursuit for financial justice. Kyle's desperate gamble with the money monster bump fails to significantly move Ibex's stock, leaving him even more agitated. The arrival of his pregnant girlfriend Molly at the studio only exacerbates his emotional state. Instead of calming him, Molly's tearful tirade accusing him of being a fucking failure for losing their entire life savings and his mother's inheritance pushes Kyle to the brink. This deeply personal attack broadcast live underscores the profound despair that fueled his actions. Meanwhile, Patty Fenn's relentless pursuit of the truth behind the glitch yields a crucial breakthrough. Her team connects with the reclusive South Korean quant who developed Ibex's algorithm. His expert testimony reveals that the algorithm was designed for rapid fractional second trading across hundreds of positions, and it was mathematically impossible for it to lose $800 million in a single afternoon due to a technical error. He asserts that human fingerprints are undeniably on the loss, suggesting a deliberate and calculated act rather than a malfunction. This scientific validation of Kyle's suspicions adds immense weight to the unfolding drama. Simultaneously, information surfaces that Walt Canby, the CEO of Ibex Clear Capital, has landed and is en route to Federal Hall for a press conference. This news, coupled with the revelation that he had lied about being in Geneva having actually been in South Africa, confirms Patty's growing suspicion of a high-level cover-up. The pieces of the puzzle begin to align, revealing a deliberate scheme. As SWAT teams prepare a risky maneuver to disable the bomb on Lee's chest, a shot that carries a significant risk of injuring or killing him, Patty makes a critical decision. Realizing the clock is ticking and the truth must come out, she informs Lee through his earpiece about Canby's deception and the quant's damning testimony. This is the turning point, empowering Lee to shift from merely placating Kyle to actively seeking justice. Lee, armed with this newfound knowledge, convinces a volatile Kyle that the glitch is a lie and that the real culprit, Walt Canby, is within their reach. He proposes a daring plan. They will leave the studio and confront Canby live at Federal Hall, exposing the truth to the world. Against all conventional hostage protocol, Lee takes control of the narrative, transforming the crisis into a pursuit of corporate accountability. The ensuing scene is a chaotic yet mesmerizing public spectacle. Lee still strapped with the bomb, which Kyle privately admits is harmless clay though the world believes it's real, and Kyle, flanked by cinematographer Lenny, who bravely continues to film, emerge onto the streets of New York. The sight of the infamous TV host and his armed captor moving through the city center attracts a massive crowd, some of whom vocalize support for Kyle, their anger at Wall Street mirroring his own. This public engagement amplifies the stakes, transforming a studio standoff into a global event. Patty, orchestrating from the control room, directs their movements, guiding them through the labyrinthine streets. She dispatches Ron to meet them, and he provides further crucial details. Ibex's trading volume plummeted by 90% on the day of the crash, a clear indication that their computers were deliberately taken offline. This data, combined with the quant's analysis, paints a damning picture of intentional manipulation. Further investigation by Patty's team, utilizing hackers to access Canby's private jet records, reveals his suspicious travels to South Africa. The seemingly innocuous term Mambo, which kept appearing in Canby's communications, is revealed to be Moshe Mambo, a charismatic union leader in South Africa. This connection is the final nail in Canby's coffin. Patty deduces that Canby invested heavily in a South African platinum mine, then orchestrated a 2-week strike by bribing union officials to artificially depress the stock price. His plan was to buy the undervalued stock and the strike and sell for a massive profit. The unexpected extension of the strike due to Mambo's integrity was the true glitch that exposed his scheme. At Federal Hall, a nervous Walt Canby is preparing his own damage control statement. He is ambushed by Lee and Kyle live on air. Lee, now a relentless interrogator, uses the real-time information fed by Patty to dismantle Canby's computer glitch narrative. He confronts Canby with the evidence of his illicit investment in the South African platinum mine and his bribery of union officials. Lee forces Canby to watch footage of Moshe Mambo, the incorruptible union leader whose prolonged strike unexpectedly derailed Canby's fraudulent plan. Cornered and with nowhere left to hide, Canby begins to crumble. Kyle, desperate for genuine acknowledgement of wrongdoing, pushes him further, at one point attempting to strap the fake bomb vest onto Canby himself. Under immense pressure and with Kyle's finger hovering over the detonator, Canby finally breaks. Tearfully and on live television, he confesses that his actions were wrong. This admission, the core of Kyle's demand for justice, reverberates globally. In the immediate aftermath of the confession, as Kyle seemingly relaxes his grip on the detonator, a police sniper, misinterpreting the situation or acting on pre-approved orders, fires. Kyle is fatally shot, his quest for truth ending in tragedy. The scene descends into chaos as medical personnel rush in and Canby is taken into custody. The fallout is swift and significant. Walt Canby faces an immediate investigation by the SEC for violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, with severe criminal and civil penalties looming. His televised confession, particularly the viral clip of his tearful admission of wrongdoing, becomes an online phenomenon, cementing his guilt in the public eye. Lee Gates, miraculously unharmed, thanks to the fake bomb, becomes an unlikely hero. Money Monster, once struggling in the ratings, experiences a massive surge in viewership, transforming Lee into a more credible and impactful voice in financial journalism. The film concludes by reflecting on the inherent risks and moral ambiguities of the financial world, while hinting that public scrutiny and accountability might at times triumph over corporate greed, even if the cost is tragically high. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.